Plunder.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Plunder, where we have a lot going on in Buck Nation today. If you haven't been in tune, slow down, turn your volume up, take your phone, turn it to horizontal, get a good screen of this, because you're fixing to take in a boatload of information on literally just two players. That's what we're focused on today, guys. So I want to make sure you're very aware of what's going on right now in Buck Nation. First off, in serious news, Yaya Diaby went down just minutes before practice ended today. He got tangled up with Vita Vea. And as the reports go, I was literally listening to the radio live, ladies and gentlemen, catching up on some information. I listen to sports talk radio all the time. And I'm setting on my Xbox. I'm going to run some game of Madden, you know what I'm saying? Get my juices flowing while I drink my coffee this morning. And they said, hold up, somebody went down. And this is, again, just 5 minutes before practice ended today. So it was a very early start to the morning. And Yaya and Vita Vea got tangled up in one of the plays. Well, they were talking about it. They couldn't identify the guy at first who was injured. They all saw the crowd. They were describing the crowd around the player. And then all of a sudden they said the card's coming out. And my heart sunk immediately. You didn't know if it was offense or defense, and you don't want anything. My first thought was, oh, God, an O-lineman. Because that's typically those first injuries that we see in the NFL. If you pay attention, a lot of offensive linemen, a lot of guys, wide receivers, cornerbacks, DBs, edge rushers. So that's a big-time situation when a cart comes out. Now, they identified it as Yaya Diaby, and it was a leg injury. So with the cart coming out, the leg injury, you immediately like, holy cow. Well, think about this. You've got the ACL, the MCL. Then you go down to the ankle. You got a high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain. You got fractures. You got other tears and stuff like that. And these are your main injuries that I'm talking about. And then you got your Achilles injury. Now, for an edge rusher, if you're not familiar with what injuries can affect certain players, like Aaron Rodgers last year went out with an Achilles, and he's in line to start Week 1 for the New York Jets this coming year. So that's pretty. And I mean, at his age, that's actually fantastic. But the key component to all this is, as an edge rusher, you need that get off. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. All right. So
Yeah.
you need that get off. So an ACL and MCL, and I've dealt with both literally in the last 3 years, one of each in both of one of the last 3 years. It's crazy. My knees have been giving me lots of problems, but nonetheless, what happens is that takes your ability away to pivot. All right. Now your Achilles takes your ability away to get off and use that strength, in that ankle, from your calf moving up your leg, and to pull that power to be able to move your leg forward. So what that does for a edge rusher as opposed to a quarterback, the way they use their foot to push off and drive off the snap, that is a horrific injury. So when they described that he had his head in his hands, but he was sitting in the front of the cart with his knee bent, I'm like, it's a lower leg injury. Immediately, I knew exactly it wasn't the ACL and the MCL. Because if that was either one, they'd have kept that leg straight as a board and had it in an air cast before he left the field. If they questioned those injuries, it would have been an air cast before he was carted off. They would have got pictures of him in an air cast. Now, that being said, we waited around for, I think, an hour and a half, and the report came out that the x-rays came back negative. So he didn't suffer any tears or breaks, and that is a huge thing. So worst case scenario, you're possibly looking at maybe a high ankle sprain where he might miss a week or two in the beginning of the season. Now, I said all that to restrain concern, because the strain comes right now. What you had last year was a guy who attacked the quarterback in the backfield each play that he was given a snap. He was a rookie and led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in sacks last year. He didn't start a game and play in a game until week 4. He didn't consistently start until week 7, I believe. It could have been later. But the point is, this guy didn't even have a whole season under his belt by the end of the season. He's working on 3/4 of a season at that point, and he still made this accomplishment. Now, he came back, and if you haven't been paying attention, he's been an extraordinarily vocal leader in the locker room and on the field. Everybody's talking about this guy. All right, so that's a huge impact in growth from season 1 to season 2 that virtually over the next few weeks for that defense will be missed. But have faith, because that's new to us as well. Yaya Diaby being a leader is not new. He was a rookie last year. We just got introduced to the guy. He was reported saying that this year was going to be better. And one of the biggest reasons why is he was just running around last year, didn't know what to do. This year, he knows what to do. He come to camp bigger. He come to camp faster. He come to camp stronger. He took an incidental injury, and that sucks. That really sucks, because each day that these guys miss puts them behind. Just like if you get hurt and you can't go to work for a month, that puts me back financially like 3 or 4 months. It really does. It takes like 3 or 4 months of struggling to get back to neutral again, to where I was before I, took that loss. So it's the same thing for the production of these guys when they work on these football players. When they work on these football fields and do their jobs, when they miss these repetitions and day in and day out, and even reps in practice, if you're having to split reps with another player because you just, that's just the way it is, then you need to step your game up, to be able to be that lead guy, because that production, that high level production, it counts on that kind of effort. So this is a big time injury for Yaya, but we as fans, and he as the person that is actually going through this, avoided a major injury, I believe, in either the ACL, MCL tear from his knee down to the Achilles, to where it looks literally just like a high ankle sprain. What are your thoughts and concerns? What when you read that stuff, what did you go through?
I mean, initially, I remember we were talking, and we'll get into it. We were talking about Tristan Wirfs early this morning, and as I'm going through the day, man, I caught the initial reports about Yaya going down. First thought was, fuck. Because all I read was lower leg injury. Didn't really hear much about it. Didn't read a lot into it. I just went kind of went through the day, figured I'd find out later. And then when I had heard that, it wasn't initially as bad as expected, because when I wasn't reading, potentially out for the season, I was all right. And then seeing Rick Stroud saying that, it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to miss any time. Cool, bro. Lower leg injury. Let the dude miss the preseason. I need this young man when the games count. That's just point blank. This dude was hella instrumental in that pass rush last year. I can't wait for us to keep calling his name, bro, because we were talking about it pre-show. We were talking a lot about this young man and Kalijah Kancey towards the end of the year. And this was a big reason why we were able to cut ties with Shaq Barrett. This was a big reason why a lot of fans, including us, were calling for Joe Tryon's head, for Logan Hall's head, because this young man came in and produced right off the bat, bro. And we were ready to make this man day one starter. And he made it. I'm all right with him getting a little dinged up for the moment. I just want to know when he touches that field week 1, brother, that we're getting 100% Yaya Diaby.
Absolutely. 100%. When I heard it, I was like, it's like putting on a bet. backing a team, right? You talk a lot of shit, and you back this team. You throw a truckload of money on them, and you miss the first quarter, right? So you're running home to get home from work, and you catch at the beginning of the second quarter, and it's like 27-0, and you're like, your heart sinks. That part there is what I felt, in support of Yaya and the way I believe in this cat. Like, if I took a side by side, and I've got a post coming out. I'm actually gonna write an article about Yaya. Look for it in the next day or two, in the next 48 hours for sure. But I've got a picture, and you'll see it when you see the post. You'll understand what I'm talking about. This guy, last year to this year, he's bigger, dude. He's probably, I would say he's probably 20 to 30 pounds bigger.
And you know what? That's what you need.
And he looks smaller, but muscle is heavier, but it's leaner, so it doesn't take as much to get as much.
Yeah.
So like, and as an edge rusher, come on, that's nasty. That's Myles Garrett territory. Think of his size. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out, Trevor. If you're listening, you'll appreciate that. Long and lanky, Myles Garrett. Power, Myles Garrett. Speed, Myles Garrett. Every one of those three is Yaya Diaby. If you throw in that increased power and strength, maybe not quite on the Myles Garrett level, because that dude was a freak. So he could get there, but like,
I get the comparison.
How he was game planned for. Like,
hang on though.
Okay.
Hang on though. I get where you're going at on the
Tell me if I'm
comparison.
wrong.
But would it really be Myles Garrett as a defensive end, or would it be a Micah Parsons type player who would be the outside linebacker type guy? Because if that, and I'll be honest, hear me out on this one. If we can get that type of disruptiveness, hear me out though. You ain't got to go full-fledged pass rush with Yaya. As long as this dude can disrupt that backfield, no matter pass rush, it doesn't matter, bro. I just want to know, and I just want to see Yaya in that backfield.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for. Again, look, you don't have to be the Micah Parsons.
Elijah Cansey.
Yeah. Clyde, you know what, bro? I want to see a big step with Elijah this year, too.
You know what? I expect that. To be fair about it, I expect that because of the way he carries himself and the kind of game he had games he had last year. What I want to see is for me, it's too late for JTS. Okay.
Oh, damn. Houston's on the board first.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's too late for him, but I would love to see a surprise step up.
Logan Hall, bringing you back.
I don't know what happened there, but either way, I'm talking about Logan Hall. I would really be impressed if Logan Hall would step up and make this a thing.
I would hope so, but I'm not going to be too optimistic. He really hasn't done shit since he's been here to warrant me going, oh, maybe.
I don't see it, but over the next few weeks, he's got a chance to show the team, because I believe he's going to be the one to step up behind Yaya.
We were hoping he was going to step up behind Shaq and JPP too. So,
well, Hey, all we can do is believe that it only takes, even if it's just one season to be a good player.
Hey, you know what? And I'd love to see that. I would love to see at least
You
one
know?
solid year out of Logan Hall. You
Yeah,
don't have to, you know what? And I would be all right if he had a Carl Nassib-esque season.
that's what I'm talking about.
Like
That's what,
I wouldn't be too mad, but
right.
at the same time, it would be like, yeah, where was this? Because you know, at that point, bro, he's just gonna go to another team, get paid, and what produce. At that point, we've
Probably.
seen it happen. It
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah, late bloomers. But look, let me give a big shout out to a player that that the Buccaneers really, I think, won, kind of like in the lottery. You know, you might not have gotten the jackpot, but you come in with 10 times the profit, you know, kind of thing. You know, you put in $100, walk out with 10 grand instead of 100 grand, you know. Uh,
Okay, who you going with here?
Tyke Smith,
You think
DB,
so?
DB out of Georgia, right?
Okay.
There has been a lot of chatter about this cat being way beyond his time. So, in an analogy, if he's been here 4 weeks, they say he's been here 3 months, based off of how he carries himself, his ability on the field, his way to to soak in the information and all this shit as a rookie.
Okay.
Now, go back to the players we drafted this year. All of them were in big time schools. Tell me one that wasn't. Okay. Now, you look back in the history of the draft, and I did this, and I thought about doing an article about it, but I just did an article about Jason Light. This goes to support my article, and if you hadn't checked that out, go check that out. It's on my page. But I'll actually, in the video on 88, I'll go share the link to that specific post, so y'all can
Okay.
check that out. The point is, Jason Light in the scouting department, if you watch the first episode of In the Current last week, the scouting department, just like, legal aids for a lawyer, they do most of the work. The lawyer just knows how to put it into words. You know what I'm saying? They're just the slick ones. But those attorney investigators and all those people, they do the hard work. Just like a surgeon, he does the most important work. He doesn't do the hardest work. Not necessarily all the time. Using it as an example, so they don't get recognized as much in the scouting department. Is just like this, because man, they do a great job. If you look at the players that Jason Light drafts, when he makes those decisions, where do you think he gets the information? Those guys that they to do this. So, that being said, all of these players that we drafted were from high-level competing college schools. Every single one of them. And that was more consistent this year than it has been in the past. He's been drafting really good in the last few years. We've put together a nucleus of players. And to link off of something, that picture that diagram that I sent you,
Yeah.
can you pull that up?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. This goes to support what I'm saying. What Jason Light has done and what he's building for the next few years is ridiculous. They're talking about Tyke Smith being one of the most loud leaders on the field and in the locker room. He's
Mm-hmm.
he ain't even had a game. He's coming out, showing up. He's ahead of the bar. You know where he played? Georgia. You know what he did? Won 2 national championships. Oh, nothing. Competing at the highest level. I expected that. I'm from Georgia, so I do have a little love. But Jalen McMillan, who's been a star,
Hey, let me just say something about Georgia real quick.
Go ahead.
Look at where that talent damn near got produced. Where's Kirby Smart's roots at? Where did he learn how to coach from?
Yep. Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Alabama. Fair enough. That being said, whenever you're ready to bring the image up.
Oh, the image. Yeah, I can't produce that on here.
You can't that? No.
Nah, I can't pull that up. I don't know.
Let me pull it up right here. Give you the information.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on my phone.
Oh, that's okay. No big deal.
Yeah.
All right. So
I am going to be working, figuring out how to do the overlays and shit.
Okay.
And there will be a way.
Either way, this is a report brought out by the Pewter Plank, and I'm giving them credit for the report. I could have went out and got the information. I was thinking about it. They actually had this information out there, and this report.
Shout out Pewter Plank.
So
the only ones that ever paid me for writing an article.
We'll focus on this off season. We discussed this in earlier episodes of Pancakes, Power Bombs, and the Plunder. Mike Evans, 2 years. Baker Mayfield, 2 years. Antoine Winfield, 4 years. Tristan Wirfs, 5 years. Okay. Last year we drafted Yaya Diaby, Kalijah Cansey. 2 years ago we got players like Zion McCullum, Christian Izzian. We drafted Jalen McMillan. We picked up, unfortunately, a solid lineman as far as depth goes that we unfortunately lost to an ACL. I think, was it ACL or MCL? Might have been MCL. I can't remember. He's out for the season.
You talking about what, Zapata or whatever his name is? Yeah, I think he's out for the year too, which sucks.
I'm not sure if it's I can't recall exactly if it was ACL or MCL, but it's one of the two. But anyways, but what Jason Light and that front office has put together with those 4 signings, you look at the Tyke Smith situation, you take it across on the other side of the ball, you've got Jalen McMillan. We ain't even really started digging deep on Bucky Irvin, who for the Oregon Ducks really put out some production in that offense. So what I'm referring to is the leadership and the maturity of these boys that know that if you get with a program and you stick with a program, you can build something to be successful, because these guys have experienced even look, let's talk about Alabama for a second.
Well, hey, hang on though. While you're on this topic, let me just say something. When it comes to Jason Light, right, I got nothing but love for this dude. There's been a lot of times we questioned if we could get certain players. And, 2020, when it came time to making that decision on if it was to keep Jameis and pay him the $30 million or to get another quarterback, bro, they went and somehow pulled Tom Brady out of their ass because he somehow hit free agency.
Yeah.
Jason Light orchestrated and was able to bring in a plethora of some fucking veterans, bro, at vet discounts because of the Brady effect. One of them, one of them still under psychiatric treatment, or should be.
Give you a little insight on Jason Light and why he has a great relationship with the New England Patriots and why that signing for him was really easy.
Yeah, and deep down, and hang on. We turn around after the Super Bowl, and we win a Super Bowl in that time frame. I'm sorry, let me not skip that.
Yeah.
We win that Super Bowl. We brought back all 22 starters. You've never heard of that before. Because Jason Light was able to pull something out. Yeah, put us in cap hell. He knew it would, but bro, they sold what we needed to do to go to go to back-to-back. And we came that close. We came that close to getting the opportunity to be in that game.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward last year. Brady's gone. He finally decided to retire again. Then he decided to stay retired. Let me put it that way. We needed a quarterback. Yeah, we got one. Everybody talked a lot of shit because the dude played for less money than any starting quarterback, even a backup. Damn, I mean, bro, he was like what, 22nd
Yeah.
in pay for quarterbacks,
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah. It was low.
And then, bro, this man turned around, has brought back Mike Evans numerous times, working cap magic. We lock up Antoine Winfield, bro. We lock up Baker Mayfield. We bring back Mike again. We lock up Levante. Then you turn around and lock up, and who we're going to get into later with Tristan. And I'm going to tell you, bro, I'm excited that we get to talk about this finally because this is going to, bro, I'm bringing back shit that I remember talking about when we drafted him. And I
Yeah.
remember the draft show. I do believe you were a part of it when I was Crew Life.
Possibly.
But I do remember us being excited about this dude. But before we get into that, man, let's go ahead and knock this out of the way so we can get into our excitement.
Yes, sir.
And this graphic was shown by accident, but
hey, it's all good. The Plunder Fantasy Football League. We've got about 10 open spots, maybe 9. I had somebody talk about joining earlier today. But again, they're $20 buy-in. That's $240, right? Out of that $240, $160 will go to the winner of the championship round. Okay? The remaining balance of the money will be donated to a charity of the league's voting choice. So basically, everybody gets a say as to what, and then we'll vote on which charity, and whoever gets the most votes, we'll figure it out. Whoever gets the most votes, that's the charity that we're going to donate the remaining proceeds of the league going into it. And the
all right, can I throw in my advice if you're going to do it that way? Because I know I'm not a part of it. I am, and this is going to be an outsider perspective.
Sure.
If you're gonna do that, I would recommend trying to get it done before the beginning of or right before week 1 of the season.
Oh, it's the
like I would
for the start of the season.
If we and I will help you if possible. If we can try to get this done, even if we have to do a draft show for your fantasy football,
that would be fun.
Like if we can do like a little draft.
Look,
involved,
put a few people in the league on.
Yeah, if we could, maybe we could orchestrate that somehow.
Absolutely, that would be
when you get your league set up, build a group or something that you can have those players, and you guys at least have a form of communication. Like even if you do a group chat.
Yeah.
I had to make rules for that. I would say. Make sure there's no. I mean, unless you want to have a fun league. I wouldn't do any like insider bullshit. No, because I've heard of groups doing like sidebar buy like bribes.
Yeah, no.
For trades and shit. They're like because one player knew they were fucked for the year or some shit.
The rules are the rules, and they're
like
I got them set already.
Okay.
You go and I'm not going to collect any money until the league is full. Make sure you have, because I'll need the money within 24 hours of the league becoming full. I'll be collecting the funds, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the money on a preloaded online Visa or debit card. I'll already have it already over here. We'll put the other in a money order. It'll be sitting ready to go to whatever charity we deem necessary.
Okay.
And before the league even starts, I'll be able to produce all of this, just to show everybody that's where it's going to go. Because that's
Okay, I
what
was gonna say, because I've seen it in certain groups.
I got the idea for charity. Just to be able to do something good consistently and give back in the best way possible.
Hey, no. I respect that. I respect what you're doing with that. I just want to I just don't want anybody coming back to you and trying to,
For one, it's $20, man. We'll blow $20 on daily football every weekend.
So, speaking of fantasy football, now that you got that out of the way,
yes, sir.
One thing that will be returning that I'm going to be taking care of on my end, since I won't be in the league, I am going to be doing a segment each week on Bucks players, fantasy wise. We're gonna call it, and it'll be a segment called Parlay or Plank. I did a segment like this in 2020 and 2021 called Start 'em or Sit 'em. What better way to bring that shit back, bro?
Look, I'm excited for that. I can't wait because I enjoy doing that. I have a tendency in my daily fantasy. I don't. In my fantasy leagues, I have a tendency to. I mean, look, if you in the last few years, even going back to the last 2 years, Jameis Winston was with the team. I used Jameis Winston as my QB in fantasy and got by very well.
Dude, I would use Jameis in fantasy. The interceptions would suck, but the yards, he would knock it out for yards, and he would 9 times out of 10, bro, knock it out in some TDs.
Oh, no doubt, no
like,
doubt.
Even during the 30-30 season.
Absolutely.
As much shit as I like, bro, he may have fucked us record-wise in a few games, but, man, I had that dude as my starting quarterback for a big part of the year.
Being a supporter of his, he broke my heart that last game against Atlanta. That interception just before the ball was literally in the Falcons' possession, I'm walking up the steps to go home.
Oh, bro, I was sitting right there at the railing with Buck Nuts, Buck Addict, Corey, and Tony. Which, hey, shout out to Bermudez is getting out soon, bro. Yes, sir. He's coming home. But I remember sitting there, bro, and right before I was like, don't. Because Cam braided turn, bro. And it was like, no, don't. And it happened. Like, bro, he threw it left his hands.
Dude, I knew it.
In the numbers, bro, of that fucking linebacker.
Right in the end zone.
And then, yeah, he just trotted into the end zone.
No, he was in the end zone. We were about to score.
No, we had our backs to the end zone. I'm pretty sure I will produce, if I can produce the video, I will have that bitch uploaded on the 88.
You're right.
Because I remember sitting there looking right at Corey going, that's going to be the reason he don't come back.
Right.
He sealed it, and I even said it. He sealed the deal. But I was still optimistic because I was hearing they were still impressed with his season.
Look,
I was too.
Look, if you take 10 of those interceptions away, he's a Buccaneer. I think you take
Tom. Hey, bro, you take Tom Brady going to any other team besides here. Jameis Winston's still a Buccaneer. They were bringing Jameis Winston back. Get your LASIK, get your knee surgery, come back. We're bringing you back. And what did they do? And as soon as they heard New England let go of Brady, Look at the records.
It's a shame.
Look at the record on it. When Tom Brady got released by New England, the same night the report came out, if not the next morning. It was within 12 hours, bro, that we were releasing Jameis.
Yeah.
So, back to the fantasy football aspect. I'm gonna do your Buccaneer fantasy football, and then I'm also gonna be doing it for the rest of your league, which will still carry under the parlayer plank.
Heard that.
So
And
I'm excited to get to bring back.
dude, that sounds. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm a huge fantasy football fan. I thrive it. It's just another extension of the game for me, and it not only makes me focus on my team, but it makes me pay attention to everything else going on as well. And that's where we gain all of our knowledge for the game. But I just get overloaded, and I'm a junkie, and I just go through withdrawals during the off season, and like from now until February, I'm like geeking. So look, let's end the night with some fantastic news. Tristan Wirfs signs a 5-year, $140 million, $88 million guaranteed contract extension, which makes him the highest left tackle in the history of the NFL. Now, let me go ahead and say that.
Hang on, let me ask you this before you move forward. Is he just the highest paid left tackle? Or is he the highest paid hybrid tackle? Because remember, bro, he could play either side.
Well, you could semantically say he's the highest paid hybrid tackle.
He earned that money.
He
got under. Hey, before you go into it, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get into it after this. We didn't pay him enough.
No,
he gave us a discount.
He should have got $100 million guaranteed. Dead ass.
Absolutely. You know what? Yes.
A 5-year contract, he's worth every penny of it.
Yeah, you know what? I cannot disagree anymore.
But a team favorable contract at that. But let's go ahead. I put out a reel today, ladies and gentlemen. So go search it and find it. Okay, just Derek Stevens. You know, you'll see it.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
You go out there and you check this thing out. And I was sitting on the couch. Hey, can I get something to drink, please? I was sitting on the couch watching.
No, you must suffer.
Watching something sporting, right? Because this is where I found the information. And out comes the episode on Tristan Wirfs. And we needed a tackle. So I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. And he was high on the radar. And look, he was from Iowa, y'all. And Iowa, if you've ever heard the terminology, cornbread fed boys, Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, those teams out there, they produce a lot of offensive linemen that really make it in the NFL and the professional leagues, because it's just the way it is. Just like a lot of the athletes come out of Florida. Florida produces a shit ton of athletes, a shit ton of high-velocity athletes, your skill position players. A lot of your offensive linemen stereotypically come from this area. Well, they produce them in college. Well, that's because of the way their offenses run. They do a lot of running in the Big Ten. They do a lot of running up north, because hey!
What's up, motherfuckers?
What's going on, brother?
Number the rent, fool.
Hey, I hear you, dog. I hear you.
Unfortunately.
Look, everybody give a big shout out to my brother Scallywag for joining the show.
What are y'all doing, man? How's it going? Y'all been all right? How's life treating y'all?
Look, if I had something to complain about, nobody would care. So let's talk about the blessings we get.
Okay. You mean like Tristan Wirfs?
Hey,
you mean like Tristan Wirfs?
Exactly.
Hey, congratulations on your son's real father getting paid.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So Tristan Wirfs became the highest in the history of the league. And look, guys, let's put it into perspective. This reel I sent out today, this video that I was talking about before Scullywag came on, is where Tristan was in a pool. He was on the shallow end or on the side.
Oh,
Video
bro, that's gangster.
He broad jumped out of the pool onto the side of the pool. Now, mind you, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but the kid's a giant.
Okay, look.
He's big this way, and this way.
I couldn't broad jump onto my fucking bed from the floor in the water without being in water.
Bro, I remember watching that video draft night.
I was very impressed.
And
very,
just being
very
like,
impressed.
yo, that dude is a monster. And bro, let's talk about it. His rookie year, how many sacks did he give up?
0.
I think in his whole career.
Bro,
hold up, in his whole career, he's only given up like 2 or 3.
And Antoine Winfield was showing that shit a while.
Right.
Hey, hold up. Can we give a shout out to the record-breaking fucking money that our team has made off of our fucking record-breaking draft class by Jason Licht?
Yes.
Like,
bro, we got two of the highest paid players in the NFL on our team.
Yo, and we were talking about it a little bit ago. You know what? You gotta give him props because he may have missed on a couple of guys.
He had two bad drafts. 2.
And they weren't even really bad per se.
Well, Aguayo was shit, bro.
Aguayo was horrible. Hargraves was horrible.
I mean, Hargraves was pretty decent, but then I'd say Hargraves over like Tryon.
You got to take
Logan. Logan Hall. See, and Logan Hall is one of those that came out of a good draft class.
But Logan Hall has ballers in front of him. Logan Hall has ballers in front of him, though, man.
And when he's on the field, bro, he hasn't given. I don't see a reason to keep him around.
I'm just sick and tired of seeing these fucking people go down on us, dog.
Look
like Yaya was big today.
Yeah. Hey, and this
year,
I hope he's ready week 1. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, but let's be real, that's a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, and that's why I'm being optimistic. I don't want him at all.
That's one of the hardest ones to heal, bro.
No, and I get that. I don't want homeboy on the field at all until week 1. If he's not ready, then he's not ready.
He's not.
KJ Britt sucks. KJ Britt hurt my soul, bro. Like he was Devin's replacement.
What about KJ Britt?
Didn't he go down with an injury?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't believe so. Our backup tackle.
I know Apata. We had 3 people go down in 2 days from what I heard, from what they've told me.
No, I'm looking.
Somebody told me KJ Britt went down, Apata went down, and then we saw fucking what's his name go down. Yeah.
No, I'm looking up. I'm looking at it. There's nothing that I see with KJ Britt.
No.
Okay, good. Then that was the misinformation that they gave me because I have it on my messages. I literally have it in my messages.
2 people.
I mean, maybe he wasn't practicing or something, but no, I don't even see anything where I see where Vita was part of that entanglement with Yaya, but they said Vita's okay as well.
Yeah. We've only lost.
From what I've seen, we've only had 2 guys go down.
From like ailments, strength, stuff like that are practicing, but nobody's really suffering from it.
I mean, maybe with the KJ Britt thing, maybe we'll find out more tomorrow.
Well, thank you, Britt. What I can talk about with KJ Britt is KJ Britt, all right? He's what, a third-year player. KJ Britt. You got Winfield. You got Vita Vea. You've got
Whitehead.
You got Jordan Whitehead. You've got Tyke Smith.
You got Tryon Choik. You got fucking Joe Tryon for some reason. He's still there.
Hey, David.
Hey, as long as Logan Hall's got a job, bro, JTS has a job.
Yeah, hey, but you know what? Hey, let's not overlook the biggest fucking snub of all the NFL, bro. Levante David.
Oh, yeah, we ain't overlooking.
Bro, when I'm looking at that top 100 list, I don't know who's making the list. I think it's the players, but the players don't know what's been going on. That's a favoritism game, like a Pro Bowl. That's like a favoritism game, like a Pro Bowl, because Levante David should be ranked way higher than 96.
I was gonna say, nah, bro. There ain't no way it's a player thing, because I believe that Levante's got the respect of his peers.
Oh, absolutely.
Then why is he not up there? That's what I'm saying.
Bro, that's got to be the same motherfuckers making that list that makes the college football rankings.
Or the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, or the Pro Bowl.
It just upsets me, man. We get no respect. Every time I turn on ESPN or the fucking stupid ass.
You know what? Hey, you know what though?
Or the NFL Network, the Good Morning Football, bro. Like they talk about the same teams, the same 3 or 4 teams: the Jets, the Ravens, the Cowboys. Who fucking cares? Let's show everybody else.
I love because Levante does exactly the same thing every year, bro. Balls the fuck out. Does his thing. We said this shit, Daniel, in 2020, bro, when we got Tom Brady. We were saying it before then, bro. We weren't getting coverage. Nobody was giving us that coverage. Brady got here, bro. They were down our fucking throats. I remember because I was that close to having my fucking press pass because of everything with Bucs life, bro. We were that close until Tom Brady came in and the pandemic hit. I remember getting snubbed for that because you had to be national journalist. Because Tom fucking Brady, bro. That's the only reason the league knows who Mike Evans is. That is the only reason that anybody knows who the fuck we are. And it's disgusting. But you know what, bro? Levante's gonna come at Levante's gonna remind them.
I hope so, dude, because I'm just tired of getting fucking the diss, bro. Like we get with even the promotions, all the commercials that they show. Bro, every team I pay attention. I even tell my wife, I was like, look, we get one spot in this whole 30-second commercial. Except every other team gets 3 or 4 fucking cameos. Some even 8 or 9 cameos in the 30-second commercial. And we got one cameo, and it's Mike Evans catching the ball, and that was it.
Oh, I was going to say, it's either Mike Evans or Baker Mayfield. And no
difference. It was Mike Evans catching the ball. Unreal, bro. Unreal.
Well, look, the important factor is now that we are relevant and people do know us because now they do. We've got to continue to do as players, you know, as the players go, they've got to continue to excel and achieve on the field to keep reminding people. So what I'm saying in saying that to say this, I feel like I could go back to my picks that we did a few weeks ago and I could change a few more. And I could possibly see us winning 13 or 14 games without the injury bug coming into to affect us. Everything else,
I think we can fucking wipe the fucking table. I think we can wipe anybody's asses out there, beat their asses, all of them.
The confidence level is extraordinarily high, everybody. The production of the players from even the youth. You know, because you got guys like Mike Evans who ain't practicing with the pads on. He don't really need to. You know, he's not practicing. Hey, you know, not a lot of youth taking a lot of these reps out there. And it's really freaking hot out. I mean, down where you're at. We're both, you know, us two. So it's really freaking hot when they're doing it. They had a night practice. They only had one night practice. That was the second day they had pads. That first day, pads. It was rough. Didn't want to go back to pads. A little bit more time to hoop. But with the Tristan Wirfs signing, like you go back to Antoine Winfield, Mike Evans, last year's draft, this team is built to make a run again and again and again.
You know what? And I agree. This is what we're doing, bro. We're building for the long term, and I'm just hoping with everything we're investing the same way we're doing with the way these other teams are, same way Kansas City's been doing it. I
just hope our team is better. I hope that we met together so well that we're great.
Yeah. Hey, 5 years from now, bro, I at least want one ring out of it.
Let's get one more real quick. You know, with the guys that we got right now, there's no doubt in my mind that we can do that. The team is very talented. We just don't get the recognition and the notoriety, and we're not on the map or talked about all the goddamn time.
And look, there's a lot of chatter of the two big differences from last year to this year is the way the team is prepared, the way the individual players go back.
Yeah, they know that Baker's their quarterback. They know who's gonna be their team.
But also, playbook. There's a lot of chatter out there talking about how much better it is going to be based off of the example of what we've seen already. A lot of people talking about that. This year, we can really do it big.
Baker didn't have the respect from all his teammates last year. This year, they're all on board and they're ready to go. They will fucking run through a wall for him, like they said.
Yes, sir.
He's a great teammate. He is a great fucking motivator, dude. He's a great pen talker, and he's a fucking leader, bro. He's just a great leader.
Hey,
that pizzazz, that chip on his shoulder, that shit that you can't coach, bro. And he's got it, and he's good at what he does.
Hey, you want to know something, bro? The vibe in Tampa, I'm hoping is real because what we have with the Bolts, it feels like we're kind of getting that camaraderie within Tampa. You got, they're embracing the two new fathers on the team.
We need to stop fighting each other. We need to stop fighting each other as fans.
Yeah.
We're allowed to have differences and still be friends.
Yeah. You know what, bro? That's what I'm getting at on it, and that's a good point.
Magic man.
They're building that camaraderie on the roster, bro. We need to build that camaraderie within the fucking fan base.
No doubt.
And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Crew Life. It doesn't have to be What the Buck. It doesn't have to be Leatherheads. It just needs to be us, like Bucks.
Bucks.
That's it. Just Bucks.
Bro,
just Buccaneers.
You know what, bro? Sometimes everybody gets too wrapped up in that group.
Look, bro,
I'm not gonna say one or the other, bro. But
I'm real passionate about my team, bro. And I've said it time and time again to both of you guys. I don't want to be a ringleader in the circus. I don't want to be the fucking guy that's on the trapeze. I don't want to fucking run with the tigers. I want to be a motherfucking clown.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to have no responsibilities. I want to dress up and act a fucking fool and have fun doing it. That's it. I want to be friends with everybody. I want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, hey, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It's been a few weeks since I've seen you, talk to you. It's good seeing you. Glad to know everything's going good with you. As of today, I think we escaped a very major tragedy in Yavi's in. So we got that forward to. Be optimistic. We also got worse locked. In the next 5 years, guys, it's going to look beautiful for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just wait. Be patient because it's coming. And what you got right?
Tampa Bay, baby.
Oh, shit. We're about to get canceled.
It's in my blood. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I was about to throw all my money.
Facebook at the Plunder 2023, powered by BucDad.
Hey, check your speed.